Shalom. Allah started by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's pushing this truth across four corners of the earth, our faith, truth, and sincerity. I'm a one abide back again. That's it. I just been going to this article I ran into about about the power grid, U.S. power grid. How the United States power grid is vulnerable. To be hit with a cyber attack. EMP attack. Um, and like I say, it can happen. Because America's grids, haven't been updated. Most of America's grids are weak. So it's gonna come a time. This place, America, Babylon the Great, gonna be in complete darkness. It's gonna be in complete darkness. No internet, no communication. They're gonna be in there's some darkness, man. But I'm getting into it. The economic stakes of a large-scale attack on the national power grid. The U.S. energy grid is increasingly vulnerable to cyber attacks due to a combination of aging infrastructure, surging demand from data centers, and a growing complex of integrating renewable energy sources. State adversaries such as Russia, China, and Iran possesses the resources and potential political will to launch sophisticated attacks designed to cripple the American economy and impede military deployment. So hey, you got the situation going on in Iran right now, right? And Iran, putting out that, a video of, America getting hit with missiles, being destroyed, and so, Russia, China, and Iran are allies, and they won't be surprised, it happens. Like I said, a cyber attack happens, EMP attack, to where the grid, they kill the power, and it's gonna be by the will of Lord Yahweh Yahushai, that's gonna for that go down, right? And I say like the plagues of Egypt, Pharaoh, because it's really like the most high Yahweh and harden Pharaoh's heart, which is mine, to not let his people go so they can show his power. But it's gonna have the same way here in America, Babylon the Great. These proud Edomite devils, Trump, that's the president right now in America. Satan, Satan, whatever you want to call him, but here in America, Babylon the Great with Trump, Most High Yahweh, Yahushai, go harden, Trump's heart, his mind to, to just be proud, man, and think that, he got it all figured out or whatever, just do what he want to do. Really, is the Most High Yahweh Yahushua's will, for what the Trump do he got to do. So, this place, America, Babylon the Great, to go down. And, Yahushua, makes his return and to bring down these so-called white people, Esau and the white side of power. It's all a process of this place of America, Babylon the Great, going down. But reading on, while the Department of Energy has established a 5-year plan to bolster grid defenses, experts express concern that budget cuts and staffing reductions may prevent the agency from effectively managing the expanding threat landscape. So they established a 5-year plan, but I hope we ain't got 5 years. Hope this place ain't got 5 years left, man. Hope this place only got at the most 3. But I hope not even that. I hope this be the end of the year or 2027. We go in 27. I hope that be the year. But I say 3. We go to 28. 3 tops. Like, we go past that, then it's like, But everything. Yahweh's will, time and will, to, completely bring this place down and destroy it. But we in those times now seeing that, we in those times now. So it's not too, like I said, we ain't got no 5 years. But I really hope not. But the way things look right now, I don't see 5 years. The way things going now, I say. Let's see. It said the United States energy grid is an extremely vulnerable position. It's in a extremely vulnerable position. Aging and underfunded, the grid is already being stretched to its limits by skyrocketing energy demand on part of data centers, as well as increasingly complicated energy flows introduced by solar and wind power. Building and maintaining a resilient energy grid will require a huge investment into expanding, reinforcing, and updating the grid. But in the meantime, all that expansion leaves the United States extremely vulnerable to cyber attacks, according to security experts. So like say, all the energy, like say, data centers, sucking the goddamn. The energy up, man, and the water, what I'm saying? He drying up the damn air, parts of lakes and stuff, like, where people live in, and, what I'm saying? That stuff, the stuff that it pumps out from the data center cause health problems too to people, and excuse me, and I say, man, they the grid, man, like I say, it's vulnerable. It's gonna come a time, the cyber attacks is gonna come about, man. Like I said, it's gonna be Lord Yahshua's will in time, that happens. So this place get completely the grid just stops. The power just go out. Excuse me. The powers completely go out. It be in darkness, man. But Lord Yahshua is gonna protect his elect in that time. The elect gonna have some, excuse me. It's gonna have some light, to see, and which I'm getting scripture on that, right? But let's see some on this. So any of the U.S. energy system's 3 primary pillars: power generation, transmission, and distribution could be all the target. You have a growing surface of attack on which our adversaries can target us. Alexander Fitzsimmons, the acting Undersecretary of Energy, said in recent exclusive with nonpartisan news outlet Shamafar, something like that. The threat landscape is certainly escalating and intensifying. So yeah, man. It's gonna come a time, man. I say, man, that this grid is weak. Like the scripture, that scripture, what the article says is vulnerable. You know, I say Iran, Russia, China, whoever do it. You know, if all three of them, come together, whatever. But however it comes about, it's gonna be of the will or Lord Yahweh Yahushua. Yahushua's will for that to happen. And his time, boom, bring that plague of darkness upon America, Babylon the Great. It happened in Egypt, which is Mizraim. Happened in time in Egypt, Mizraim. So it's gonna happen here in America, Babylon the Great. So I'm gonna get the scriptures on this to back this up. This is Exodus 10:21. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And when that happened, that darkness was it was dark. It said it could be felt. And you can't, you can barely nothing. You can't see nothing. So that's how dark it got. That's how it's gonna get in America, Babylon the Great. But like I said, the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Israelites dead. So the number Lord Yahshua is gonna have, those that believe in Him, the elect, the righteous number gonna be. It's gonna have some light. Gonna have, gonna see, be able to see, and not, have to deal with that darkness, But go to the next verse on that. Well, it's going to be the next one, but I'm going to read this one. Exodus 10:22. And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. So, 3 days of darkness, Thick said thick darkness. It was thick. Like, man, you know how, it gets dark? Like, say the power go out, say like a storm happens in your neighborhood or whatever, it's dark at night. You can't see shit. You walk out there, but you could, with the stars and the moon, it kind of gives some light, right? That you can see, a little bit. But it ain't gonna be no moon or nothing, to shine in that darkness. No flashlight, nothing can penetrate. It ain't gonna be able to penetrate that darkness. And then within that darkness, you don't know what's in that darkness that's gonna come upon you. Some type of strange beast or something, because animals they could see your body heat, and I say you in that darkness, they could come, attack you, and that could happen, man. Strange things can happen in that darkness, man. It's gonna have people spooked and have a heart attack and die right there. But I'm going to the next verse. Exodus 10:23. They saw not one another, neither rose for any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Yes, like I was saying, so the elect, I'm the so-called Negro, Latino, Israelites, the Lord, He knows His elect. So when that happens, when, like I said, His power do go out, when communication and the internet, everything is shut down, when it happens, the elect gonna have light. The Lord Yahshua gonna have, they're gonna be light with, what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun, right? The elect gonna be, gonna have some light somehow, what I'm saying? The Lord Yahshua be like, nah, y'all good, what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be okay, y'all got light, y'all can see on, y'all gonna be all right in this area, But you're gonna have those that's not of that righteous number, 2/3 is like they're gonna be in that darkness. Had to deal with that darkness, right? But you're gonna have elect that's gonna be, gonna be able to see, within the darkness. When it happens, when like I say this, like I say this Lord Yahushua, bring that, Yahweh Yahushua bring that darkness upon America, Babylon the Great. And that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen in America, Babylon the Great. Because I say the article brought that says it's vulnerable, man. The energy, the grid is vulnerable for attacking to be knocked out. So hey, we in those times going forward, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. I mean, it ain't good, right? But we know as we go forward, man. Me myself first and foremost, and I say me myself first and foremost, and those that believe in Lord Yahushua, to constantly pray to the Lord Yahushua for mercy and deliverance. Fast and pray for mercy from Lord Yahushua in these times going forward, because it's gonna be some things that's gonna, it's gonna be some horrific judgments, and Yahweh Yahushua's wrath. It's gonna come down hard on this place, America, Babylon the Great, going forward. So with that, then won't make it too long. So again, like about praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. To the apostle elders, to the sister brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahushua, keep fighting with that. I say shalom.